Whew, hello. I was just outside playing ball with our dog Bryce. And while we were out there, I had this aha moment, and I wanted to come in and share it really quickly before I forgot it. So before going out, I went to our front hallway door, and I opened it, which piqued the curiosity of our dog Bryce. Because the only reason I was going in there was for two reasons in his mind. One was to get a coat off a hanger, which meant he probably wasn't going with us. Because if I got the coat off the back of the door, of the closet door, then there was a really good chance that he'd be going. The second reason would be going in there is to get his ball launcher, which for anyone who doesn't have a dog or know what that is, it's this very long arm that allows you to throw the ball great distances. And that is indeed what I got. And he was incredibly happy because that's what he loves. So we were outside playing. And I was kind of like thinking about how we, or he, I'm not sure who conditions who. My husband says that they've conditioned us, and he's probably right. But they know, our pets know, if you have pets, our pets know different sounds, different movements by us means something. So when our alarm goes off, they know that, oh, okay, in the morning if our alarm goes off, they know we're going to get fed. If I take the coat off the hanger in the closet, they know, or my dog, he's not coming. They're conditioned. They understand that because it's happened. There's been a repeat process, and now they've conditioned themselves to either receive that in a positive way or a negative way. We do the exact same thing. So from our childhood, good and bad, we have conditioned ourselves by repeated experiences that have left us feeling either immense joy, satisfaction, or very afraid, not seen, not heard, not feeling safe. And those moments, those negative moments that we've conditioned ourselves, those get compressed into what we call our shadow. So that's part of yesterday's video that I talked about, are you hiding from your shadow? A lot of these conditioning events form into and seal into and concrete as part of our shadow. So a happy moment for me, let me think of a happy moment. A happy moment for me from my childhood, would be, my dad worked in a dowel factory, and he would come home and he would smell of wood, and it was an amazing smell. And then he stopped working there, and I didn't smell that anymore. But every now and then, I will get that if I walk into a place that has, if they're cutting the wood, and it's a certain smell. It's not like you cut down your Christmas tree and that's the smell. It's this smell, right? And if I get it, it takes me immediately back to that innocence, feel good, very secure childhood from that time. It's a really happy, good thought. It's a great one. That's a smell. There's also moments of encouragement. Like I know that when I get together with, my whole massive family, that it's just so much fun and there's so much joy and we're laughing and, because that was an experience. Every time my whole family got together, big, a very large family, there was lots of laughter and fun. There's also negative conditions. So if you grew up in a house that possibly had anger or fear because of different situations that happen. So if you, I had a friend that had an older sister, and she played her music really loud, and her father hated it, and her father would yell, really yell. and up the stairs for her to turn it down. And that, even though I didn't live in that house, I would only go and visit occasionally. Just that yelling, when I would start hearing loud music, I'd be like, I would get that like, it's, So when I was at her house and her sister would start playing that loud music, I would have this like moment of like, oh no, is her dad home? Is he going to start yelling? And when he would yell, he was mad at her, but he just kind of got mad at everyone. The entire house had to like just step back. So you're conditioned to that. So then later in life, when someone gets angry to that level, and they get angry at everything, not just the situation that's happening, but they're angry at everything because of a situation, you get this moment of like, so you're learning to like stay kind of small, stay quiet. We're also conditioned by like hopefully this isn't still happening, but that like boys wear blue and girls wear pink. Don't step outside of that, right? And hopefully that's like gone away now. But when I was a child, that's what it was. We can be conditioned by how we grew up, where we grew up. We can be conditioned by our nationality, our religion, whether or not we had one parent, two parents. How we respond to these situations is how we later in life respond to what is happening to us currently. So how does all this play in having these wow moments? Well, these wow moments, welcoming our worthiness, is acknowledging that we can empower ourselves to not be a victim to these emotions. So a real life example for me, when I was growing up, my mother was never on time. Never. She had a very casual relationship with time. It didn't bother her. She always was like running late. We were always running out of the house, and I always felt like we were half dressed, half ready, and we would get to the event. We would get to church. I don't know, it felt like we were, getting there 20 minutes late, but it probably wasn't. It was probably just a few minutes. But for me, her casualness with time caused a great deal of anxiety for me, embarrassment. And later in life, I made sure I was never late. It causes a great deal of anxiety and embarrassment. And I carried that through. And I carried it through, unfortunately, even into my kids, where I was not going to be late. We were not going to be late. We were going to be ready. We were going to be in that car, and we were going to be driving to school. I worked at their school, or whatever we were doing. So I caused a different level of frustration for them. So me welcoming my worthiness in that situation as an adult is acknowledging, okay, I don't have to be a victim anymore to the embarrassment, the frustration, the anger that I had as a child from being late. I can empower myself, one, to make sure I'm not late, which I did, probably not in the healthiest ways. So then you go to the next level of, okay, I'm going to empower myself by acknowledging that I'm no longer living that life. I'm no longer the victim of having to worry about being embarrassed or having the anxiety. I can release it, and I can do whatever it takes for me in a positive, affirming way to acknowledge that I'm okay. That's also another way. Yesterday we talked about the shadow. Are you hiding from your shadow? That's exactly how you do it. That's how you remove that shadow part, is acknowledging what triggers have I been? What triggers are inside of me? What have I been conditioned to know or to think? And from that, what's the result? What emotion does that bring up? And just realize you're not that victim. You do not have to be a victim anymore to that emotion. You can empower yourself, and you are worthy to empower yourself to let it go. So as of yesterday I said that when you these blocked that when we have these blocked emotions, these shadows that are stuck inside of us, is to write them down. So that's a great journaling, and I am so into journaling our emotions, because you can say things on a piece of paper and then you can burn it, throw it away, but you can release this frustration, this anger, without having to do it to the person, because it's past. We cannot change it. We cannot go back and rewrite our childhood, or rewrite the insecurities that we had from our childhood, or rewrite that we did not feel seen and heard. Can't do it. It's not going to happen. We cannot rewrite that perhaps we missed out on events and we're disappointed. It's gone. The only thing that we have now, right now, 100%, is currently this present moment. And this present moment, we can plant these little seeds, these little wow moments, these little empowering seeds of knowing that we are worthy, that can then invest in our future. So it will be a happy one. Whew, okay. Lots there. This was a little longer than I had planned, but I think it's all really good stuff. So I wish you well. I will see you tomorrow. And this is a 21-day Welcoming Our Worthiness series. And it is these little seeds, these wow moments that I call them, welcoming our worthiness, these little seeds of knowledge, these little seeds of understanding that's doing exactly what I just talked about, empowering us to know that we are worthy, to not be the victim of whatever is hurting us, to not be the victim of all the shame, to not be the victim of feeling little, small, unseen, unheard. Okay, I am Leon Dyer. I am an empowerment coach, and I will see you tomorrow for the next video. Okay, thank you. I got to turn off now. Okay.